help overcome imposter syndrome, that help overcome doubt, that build confidence. Hey everyone, this is Becky.
And I'm Angie.
And welcome to Real Talk with Beckie and Angie. I've got a tiny offer. So a tiny offer is typically something that's around $27. And I will start selling that online and through social media and whatnot. And that is a do-it-yourself goal-setting program. It's fantastic. It literally walks you through every single step that you could do to set goals and actually achieve the goals. And then I have what's called the Great 8, and they are 8 exercises that help overcome imposter syndrome, that help overcome doubt, that build confidence. So through those 8, then you do the goals on your own. You can also upgrade to get a hard copy of that workbook. Through that, basically opens the door for people to come in and know me. And then if they want to book an appointment with me to do a call, free call, complimentary call, to have a talk about what could be next for them and see if the high performance coaching is a fit for them. And so that's how that's going to roll. That's the way I see it now.
So is the tiny offer going to be available after this beta testing, or is this tiny offer?
The tiny offer is, at this point, it is about 50% complete.
When you mean tiny offer, I mean, you kind of explained a little bit, but what does that mean?
So the term tiny offer is actually coined by Allie Bjork. She's trademarked the name. And so a tiny offer, often, you see those things on Facebook or on Instagram, and they're around $27. And then you go in and you say, yeah, I want to buy that. And then there's oftentimes an order bump that's a little bit more. That's like $37. And then you click buy, and then it takes you to another page, which is a one-time offer. So that's called a suite. A tiny offer suite is the main offer, the order bump, and the one-time offer. It's those 3. That seems to be the magic number. So tiny offer is simply you could do it by ads. You could do it by social media saying, hey, I've got this really great thing that I think you should check out, and it's only $27. Or you can do all of the above. Some might be 37 is an odd number, oddly enough. 47 is a good one. 19 is also a good number, and so is 17. So 27 seems to be, or it was previously. So I'm going to do it at 27, and so the price points will be 27 for the tiny offer, the order bump, which is the hard copy of the workbook mailed to you. Who doesn't want a hard copy? I mean, come on.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
It's all in there. And so that will be 37. That will only be in the US. And then the one-time offer is something that I have created on my own that I love and I think is magical. And it is called the Intentional Vision Board Workshop. It's a course that you do on your own. And you've done my vision board workshop live. So this is something that you have all the recordings, you have all the material, and you can do it over and over and over again for the rest of your life. And the system that I use is pulling out the vision that's inside yourself and putting it on a board.
That is so good. And it's not just cutting things out, random things that you want, like a really cool car or something. It's much bigger. I like that. That's so good. Do you think people have gotten to be leery or mistrusting of tiny offers or that system, like when you're scrolling through? I'm just going to speak for myself.
Yeah.
I've done many things where I've gone through the tiny offer. And then I guess you said it was the bump and then the suite, those things. If I really was like buying into it, like really wanted it, they didn't bother me. It didn't bother me that those things popped up. But there's been times I've gone through it. I'm like, I really didn't have the buy-in in the beginning. So I X'd out the whole thing. I canceled the whole thing. Yeah. Because I'm like, no, I'm annoyed now by this. And just in thinking about right now, just saying this, I realized I really wasn't in it from the beginning. I was just like, yeah, I'll check this out. Those things that I really just followed through, I must have seen some value in it. They sold me on it and I've enjoyed those programs. What do you think though, as far as overall, do you think that how the perception, or what do you hear about that process? It's called the funnel. Is that a sales funnel?
It's a sales funnel. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the tiny offer, so I'll tell you how many pages there are. There's the main page. That's the main, goes through the whole thing, the description, the bonuses, everything, the main page. And then, you would click a button, one of the probably 5 buttons on the thing. I want in. And then that would take you to a page where you'd fill out all your information, and there would be a little square that you could check the box if you want the order bump. So that's not another page. That's on that page. And then you click buy, and then there's one more page that has the one-time offer. And then you can choose yes or no, and then it's done.
Oh, that's not bad.
Exactly. So I have, oh gosh, you go in and they're like 14 offers.
Mm-hmm. Every
I'll
time you think you're checking it.
I'll
Yeah.
abandon those. I will
Yeah.
abandon those. I don't, at some point you're like, I don't even remember what I was buying initially. So it's not something that's so like annoying, and you can choose out of both of them. You can just buy the $127, and a lot of people do. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people buy the whole suite, and it's completely whatever you want. So to answer your question, how are they operating now? I don't know, because it's been, since I've had a tiny offer, it's been, when was the last time I had a tiny offer go running? It's probably close to a year. So I will be testing. I will be checking in with my expert marketing people and find out what it is. I am kind of curious about organic growth and not doing Facebook ads, because they get expensive.
They get expensive, and there's a lot that's changed, I think.
There's a lot that's changed with that. My detest of Apple really is derived from the whole iOS update that they did a few years ago that gave people the option to opt out. And I think that's
Do you
great.
know how that sounds, though? My detest is that people have the option to opt
Well,
out.
that
Thank you, because I get to opt out, but
yeah,
it has affected your business. I get that.
not just mine, everyone's.
Well,
And
yeah.
so if I got a message on my phone that said, do you want to opt out of tracking? Hello? No, yes, of course I want to be opt out of tracking, because and it's actually a good thing. So let me explain what happened that prior to this. This is what was happening, and it's kind of creepy. So let's say, hypothetically speaking, you go onto Facebook and you see an ad and you click on that ad and you're like, wow, that's really cool. Okay. You go out of that ad. You didn't buy it, you bought it, doesn't matter. The next 6 clicks that you did would be tracked.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that, let's say you went and looked at shoes, you went and looked at patio furniture, you looked at beer. And so now you're categorized as those are categories that you have an interest in. And so when I go and place an ad and I do an
graphics,
audience,
yeah.
I would say somebody who likes beer and barbecues, because I know that if they clicked on my ad and they went to those other sources afterwards. So that's what was happening. And it made targeting a lot easier. And I've heard over the last few years, more people say, all I see in my feed are ads. And that is why, because you're not being targeted. When you're being targeted, those ads just scroll through and you don't even notice them, because it feels like a friend posting.
Mm-hmm.
When now you're not being targeted and they're just throwing stuff at you, hoping she'll buy this, hoping she'll look at like this. It's stuff that you might not like. There are ways to go around it, and I've been learning those ways. So there you have
Obviously, they're doing something. There's
Yeah.
a way around it, because I looked at compression socks or something, for running or walking.
it. I have the
And
best compression socks. I will send you the link if you didn't buy them.
no, I haven't yet, but I've had plenty of ads come up on all the compression socks that you could ever find.
Yeah.
Like, they're out there. So yes, I'm curious from a trusted source, a friend, on compression socks that don't cut off circulation at the knees and below the
They
knee.
are fantastic. They're expensive. They're like $45, and they are fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic.
I am down. Thank you for sharing how that system works. Do you remember when we first got the little things you would scan at the grocery store and stuff, the rewards programs and things? And then you started getting coupons that were specific to your purchases.
Mm-hmm.
There were so many people that were annoyed by that. And for me,
Why?
Yes, see, that's where I'm going.
Yes.
If I don't care about diapers at this stage in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about Infamil or whatever. Give me what I'm looking for. So I appreciate that. I do. Now, creepiness of things like, I went over to Felicia and Tyler's on Easter, and we were over there and they got new couches, new couch, new table and everything. And we were talking about couches because we used to have the same manufacturer of our couch, just different colors, but they got a puppy. The puppy encouraged them to get a new couches. And so anyway, we're talking about couches. I got home, and usually I'm used to opening up Facebook and seeing something targeted would be around couches, right? Because that's kind of normal these days. You're just like, oh, look at that. There's an ad for couches. This was in an email. I got an email from Jocelyn, Maine on new couches. I'm like, it's gone way too far. Yeah. I feel like some things have just gone way too far, and it's don't tell me, just please do not tell me that's just a coincidence, because I'm not the only one that has those experiences. That I think is creepy. Yeah. That I think is weird, but I'd rather get an advertisement on things that are targeting me on things that I want versus things that don't appeal to me. Anyway.
I could go on and on about that whole subject. I think it might be boring to most people.
Well, and I don't know if it's boring, but I think this is going to be a good segment because I think people shut down. From my experience of talking to people who are not in that environment, when we were in Vail, I think is when you were sharing with me that is when Apple changed their program. Because I remember the conversation, you were very I want to just say animated about it. Because
I was animated? That just doesn't seem like me at all.
Not at all. I'm just driving. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how does it make you feel, Becky? But yes, you were experiencing that change right then. So I was wondering, at what point is a new technique going to come out, or a new way to enroll clients or customers? That's what I'm thinking about. But I think it's educational for people that you're not trying to trick anybody.
No,
right?
No, exactly. No.
You do it because it works. Mm-hmm. I think it's based on human psychology and the way people operate. They're obviously not too annoyed with it because you still get people who enroll, right? Mm-hmm. And you can also, if you're not interested, click out.
Here's the deal. If you're not interested, do not click on that ad. Don't click on the ad. I'm getting a little bit higher. This is what happens. And it's hilarious. People see an ad. They're like, this ad makes me mad. I'm going to click on it. No, I'm going to go one step further and I'm going to comment on it. What you've just done is you've just jacked up that ad for more people to see. So if you see something that you don't want to see, do not click on it. Don't like it or dislike it or comment on it. Just keep scrolling.
I know of people who respond and say, this ad, what is it? This ad does not appeal to me, right? Or whatever it is.
Thank you for boosting my ad. I appreciate it.
Well, the other thing too, I want to throw this out there as websites. When you Google something, you want it I need to get into let's use my bank. I need to get into my bank right now. So I'm just going to put it in the browser, and it comes up. The first at least 5 links that come up are paid ads.
Sponsored,
right? From your bank. Scroll down just a little bit farther and then click on that one. That's the one that you're not, because every time we click on those links, that company is paying for those. Just saying.
Thank you. I do the same. Mm-hmm.
The business is paying for those. Just be nice to your providers or whoever that is.
Thank you for that. Thank you. When I'll click on, I'll go to Amazon and the very first one is sponsored, and I'll scroll down and go to, so I'm like, okay, Amazon, I just saved you, 25 cents. You're welcome.
Well, and it all adds up.
It does.
It truly does.
Oh my gosh.
Who's paying for it?
Yeah.
Ultimately, the consumers, we're going to end up paying for it. Okay, that's our tech talk for the day.
Yeah, exactly. Our tech talk for the day. Okay, you're very welcome. Scroll frequently and scroll often and click on my ads.
If you're interested.
Only if you're interested.
Only if you're interested, yeah.